Good afternoon and welcome to third Master the Art of Presenting live webcast. My name is Timo Sorri. I am the main organizer of Master the Art of Presenting event, which will be held in Helsinki the 10th of September this year. And it is a day filled with keynotes, workshops, knowledge, inspiration for effective presentations. And today, we have one of our keynote speakers here in interview. He was voted the Speaker of the Year 2012 by the customers of Speakers Forum Finland. He is a speaker, an author, a performer, and an entrepreneur. He has published 5 books, and his latest one, the Finnish Miracle, has become a bestseller in Finland. He is the keynote speaker in Master the Art of Presenting. Welcome, André Nöel Chaker.
Thank you for having me.
How has your day been?
Amazing day. I had a speech this morning to the Association for Communication Professionals, and they are a pretty demanding crowd. But according to the Twitter feed, it's still coming in. It's been an amazing event. I'm very, very pleased. One more. Well done.
Yeah, well done. So, André, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, I'm originally from Montreal, Canada. I moved to Finland 22 years ago to manage an international scientific organization. I was 25 years old at the time, and I got a significant job. I left a law practice in Montreal, or I was working for a big law firm in Montreal and in New York. I had just become a member of the New York bar, then I went into the business world after finishing an MBA here in Helsinki, where I met my Finnish wife, who actually built this wonderful little place where I am now. It's called a huvimaja in Finnish. So it's a little gazebo of sorts, and it's my place where I can write and prepare my speeches and have some cognac, a cigar. It's a nice place to relax and think and read. And then after that, I went into the mobile business, the gaming business, as an executive for the Finnish National Lottery. And now I'm an entrepreneur, working with companies involved in mobile and gaming, but also doing a lot of speaking because of these actually 2 titles that I won in Finland, which is surprising. I was voted Speaker of the Year by Speakers Forum, but then again, the following year I was voted Speaker Moderator Coach of the Year by the Evento Awards network, and all of this in your language, Finnish, which is perhaps one of my. When I want to write the list of my achievements, I think that's my biggest one, to have done this in the Finnish language.
Yeah, well, yeah, it must be. Finnish language is not the easiest one to learn for a foreigner.
No, it's not. It's not. But thank you to my wonderful Finnish wife and Finnish friends like you, who have been very tolerant. I've evolved into a good public speaker also in Finnish.
Yeah. So you were speaking today. You've won some awards, got some accolades on your speaking. What was it that got you into public speaking, or does it come naturally to you?
Well, my father was a literature professor at McGill University. Literature, public speaking generally was a very important part of our family's culture, of our, I'd say, our national culture. You need to, even as a child, you're encouraged to, perform in public, speak in public, even at a very young age, participate in theater and other kinds of performances. And I always enjoyed that, and I saw the example of my father and mother who were teachers, and just grown to like it. And we used to go through Molière and Corneille and other great French classics, just for fun, and just go through a few lines once in a while, and we had great admiration for great speakers, and I saw the power of great speakers who in only one sentence can launch an entire movement. One great example from when I was growing up in late 60s, early 70s was the famous speech of General de Gaulle. General de Gaulle from France, as you know, was perhaps one of the greatest leaders of France, and he was also perhaps one of the most compelling speakers I have ever listened to in French, or just in any language. He could speak in a compelling way for hours, and you would never get tired of listening to him. And he got up in Montreal, and he had 100,000 people in front of him and then there was a moment of silence, and then he said, "Vive le Québec! Vive le Québec libre!" Which means, hooray for Quebec, and then hooray for a free Quebec. And then he started a sovereignty movement. They broke everything. It was the launch of something very big in our history, in our culture, and I was very impressed by the power of speech already very young.
Okay, so you have spent now about more than 20 years already in Finland, and
yes,
but coming from a different communication culture. What was the most striking difference between the communication styles of the Canadians and Finns that you noticed when you first came to Finland?
Well, one Finnish strength is definitely the strength of listening and open-mindedness that comes through listening and not speaking so much. It's a strength, actually. Finns tend to see it as a weakness, but the best speakers are those who actually listen the most and are able to learn, synthesize, and then prepare a good rebuttal. The art of listening is critical to a good speaker, and I think the Finns are very good at that. The problem of Finnish communications is at least in business communication, is the almost absolute absence of storytelling, which is sad because actually it used to be a great strength in the Finnish culture. The Kalevala, people would tell stories to each other, even sing stories to the next generation. But that has been lost by, well, there are a few reasons. There's a civil war. There are 3 major wars for Finland, and then there's a building up of the country based on other strengths, engineering strengths, building strengths, construction strengths, scientific-based development, which is very strong and very important, of course. But this has weakened the social value around telling stories, which are a compelling way of building brand and in constructing a good pedagogical foundation for what you want to tell people. So, and this is, I think I understood why I became Speaker of the Year twice in this country with my limited Finnish skills compared to the great Finnish speakers. Is that we know from research that in a good TED Talk speech, you need to have 3 things: ethos, logos, and pathos, as you know. And pathos being the storytelling, emotional, social part of your story. And we know from research that the best speeches command almost 65% of their speeches to this, right? To storytelling. And for Finns, it's important to remember that a story is actually a set of facts, or facts with a soul. And that's what makes your impact as a speaker. And now I understood why I won 2 years in a row. It's because Finns are like a boxer that only boxes with one hand, the hand of ethos and logos, which is at its best, 35% of a speech, and that is not sufficient to be a compelling speaker.
Yeah. So storytelling, incorporating more stories, incorporating emotion. But yeah, you will be opening more of your thoughts and your wisdom at September the 10th at the Master the Art of Presenting event. So can you tell?
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So can you tell the reasons why people should take part in that event?
Where they're going to have some of the best speakers in the country and from abroad who understand what you need to have in your communications, in your speech, so that people will actually want to, one, listen to you, and two, remember what you told them. If you want to learn more about that, come.
Yeah. So yes, just few words more about the upcoming event. Can you see this now?
Yes.
Okay, and it's in full screen? Sure.
Yeah, it's not in completely full screen, but
okay.
yeah.
Just have to...
I think it's in a...
Well, I'll just zoom it a bit. So it's sometimes experiencing some difficulties with this Google Hangouts on air. Anyway, the Master the Art of Presenting event will be held on 10th of September in Scandic Park, Helsinki. There will be 3 keynote speeches and 6 workshops, which will cover different topics of effective presentations. For example, how much human brain can absorb information in a presentation, how can you effectively interact with your audience during your presentation, how to utilize body language, how to design effective presentation slides, how to use improvisation as one tool in your presentations, and how to present effectively in webinars, and of course, how to use stories in your presentations. We also have great partners, event partners. Showwell. Showwell is a mobile sales and presentation app in which you can deliver your presentation and your presentation materials wherever you go in your iPad. SharpCloud, which turns numbers into visual stories, and Sedat, which is the internet age, a PowerPoint killer, or at least it aspires to be one. So it's an internet age presentation tool.
Super.
Super, yeah, and you can still enroll at Havain website. There's seats left. We're gonna take 70 of the first that enroll. There's about half of the seats still left, so still room. So I hope we see as many as possible at the event. I know it's going to be a great day. We had great feedback from our first edition, and this edition is going to be bigger, better, and more beautiful. So,
all right.
Okay, André, but thanks for the interview. And,
thank you.
Have a great summer.
The same. Looking forward to seeing you all in September. Be there.
Yeah, and good luck with your upcoming speeches.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Okay, and see you. Bye.
Hey.